Right.
There we go.
Great. So good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to present to the Board of Education tonight about SEED. SEED stands for Seeking Educational Equity and Diversity. I'm proud to introduce my colleagues that are with me tonight, Rosa Maria Larson, Robin Bai, and I'm Jen Paepke. As some of you may know, SEED began in Beloit in the year 2015, but the National SEED Project is now in its 34th year. SEED has been researched nationally by the Schott Foundation for Public Education, which shows that SEED has an impact on teacher transformation, school climate, curricular change, and student connection.
SEED is a diversity training that guides each participant on their own personal journey of growth within a safe and caring environment. Various topics within equity, diversity, and inclusion are explored in order for self-reflection, understanding, and sometimes healing to occur.
SEED is a peer-led professional development program, and the way that it works is that it creates conversational communities. And its purpose is change toward greater equity and diversity.
So SEED is really about self-awareness and then leads into connection to others and has impact on our acknowledgement of systems of oppression, systems of power, and systems of privilege that exist around us and that we are a part of.
This map shows all the 41 states plus DC that SEED seminars have been held in. Our local cohort, which includes Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana, and Michigan, has over 70 members with at least 40 participating actively in some fashion. There has been 2 groups with 20 participants each in the past 2 years.
Okay, the National SEED Project is based on the work of Peggy McIntosh. For those of you that are familiar with the Invisible Knapsack, that is the person that started at the Wellesley Women's College. She is the founder for National SEED Project on Inclusive Curriculum.
So SEED is a cohort-based peer-led seminar. So the 3 of us would be the facilitators of our peers, of district employees, as well as other members from around the county. We would aim to have a cohort of 30 people so that each of the 3 of us could have a small family group of about 10 people.
SEED requires a commitment of 1 evening per month with 3 hours, for 3 hours. A different topic area is explored during each session along with a family-style dinner.
Okay, because we are in this crisis mode with the pandemic, our cohort will start virtually. We will keep up with all of the regulations that are recommended and will transition to hybrid or face-to-face as permitted.
So we are very intentional in how we plan our SEED seminars. There is so much trust that needs to be built among the community that we have and building those relationships with our members. We have in the past had 8 seminars. This year we're looking at having 11 sessions, and there's a real strong need for attending all of those sessions because we really scaffold the intensity of the types of activities and the level of risk that is asked of the participants, and that it's not about these sort of one-hit wonder activities, but that we really go in depth on topics.
Participating in activities, sharing testimonials, experiences, and knowledge, and journaling are done in each session. Out of these 5 concepts, windows and mirrors seems to be the most that people are not accustomed to. This concept allows each participant to reflect on the topic area for that week to see if it allows them an opportunity to view someone else's experience, which would be a window, or to share in that experience, which would be a mirror.
Okay, during SEED, our commitment is to have balance. It's a balanced experience for all participants. We do use relationships. We leverage that, the power of relationships to model the kind of teaching that we want to see in the classrooms, as well as we're connecting to what the district is using now with circles.
So we'll kind of talk about some of the topics that we've covered in the past. So we usually begin with self-stories and building community. We've looked at school, including medical, mental health, and learning differences. Systems of oppression, including lots of different isms. We've looked at gender and sexual identity.
We also have looked at and done various videos and readings which show different perspectives relating to the LGBTQ plus community, white privilege, race, ethnicity, activism, the Black Lives Matter movement, immigration, class, and poverty, to just name a few. These topics can sometimes be heavy, but they are very necessary since we don't know what we don't know.
Okay, our vision for Beloit and Rock County as we expand is that we want to create a safe and diverse setting where individuals, our focus is mainly that we want people to understand themselves and in a way that, and how they relate to others so that they can learn how to respect and have compassion for others. And communication is key, as well as opportunities for engaging with other people in the community.
So a little bit of history. My first year as a SEED leader was in 2015-2016 school year. We had 20 participants that year for 8 sessions, and you can kind of see how that group broke down.
I joined as a facilitator in the 2016-2017 Beloit cohort number 2. And that this slide shows how the participants and the facilitators who were listed.
I was able to go from a participant to a co-facilitator during the 3rd cohort group in the 2017-2018 school year. And this also has the breakdown of those 2 groups that were led. One was led with Tasha Bell and Kendra Roman, and then Jen Paepke and myself.
So a little bit of our timeline. We had an email and letter go out to community organizations, different agencies, other school districts in the county. That went out today, and there'll be an email going out to our school district yet this evening. And we also started a Facebook page that has all of this information on it. The board, you also received some testimonials from past participants, which SEED is really hard to explain, but our previous members are our greatest selling point. So kind of hearing their stories and experiences. We'll have a short application window because we really would like to get started. People have we've been hearing that call, what can I do with all of the things that are happening in our society right now? So we'd like to start with our first meeting on July 30th.
We are looking at having meetings every 3rd Thursday, with, again, like Jen said, the first meeting being held on July 30th. Due to COVID-19, we will start virtually. And once local and state guidelines permit, we will transition to face-to-face meetings. In May, participants will complete an evaluation that will help guide future growth of the group. I am also looking at scholarship opportunities so that I can be formally trained myself to lead my own group in the spring. This will allow us to have an opportunity to increase our whole cohort participant size, which we feel that we do need to have as many people trained as possible with everything that is going on. Since with our climate, we just all need to be able to get along and love each other.
Okay, so at this time, we wanted to ask you, do you have any questions for us?
I just want to take an opportunity as board members are formulating their questions. I had the opportunity to meet these 3 to get up to speed on SEED, and I so appreciated the opportunity to sit down with them as a way to support the process. Out of my area, I'm supporting scholarships for 10 people from the district. So I'll sponsor 10 of our district members for this cohort that they're looking to bring together here.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry, Megan.
Yeah.
I think John had a question.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. John, go ahead first.
Actually, I lost my train of thought when you said that. Go ahead, Megan.
I'll start with the easy one. I just wanted to thank you so much for all the hard work you've done over the years, and having kind of watched from the outside, I'm just really excited to see kind of the next level that you're going to be taking this to. So just truly thank you for the work and the voluntary hours you've poured into improving our community this way.
Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead, John.
Okay, I remember now. Do you have any idea what % of those that have gone through this training are still employed in the district?
That is a good question. I can figure that out for you and send it back to you rather than make a guess. I know that there still are plenty of people who have participated and are still working in the district, but I can think of at least a handful who have moved on to other places. One of our facilitators who was nationally trained has left two nationally trained facilitators have left the district at this point as well. But I'll get those numbers to you, John.
That'd be great. Thank you. Share it with the whole board, please.
Yep.
Maria?
Yes, I just want to say thank you so much for the great work that you guys do. I was actually a participant. Well, I was to be a participant last year, but unfortunately I was not able to because of schedule problems. I have received the invitation again this year for it, which is really, really tempting. And I'm just wondering if there's any way that, will there be any conflict, if a board member attends, the program, and do I have, can I share that, with my different committees through the county? Because I know that they will be very interested in attending, and I'm sure that at least 2 or 3 would be willing to go through the program.
Mm-hmm. Rosa Maria, do you want to address any thoughts on that, or any of us can?
In the past, we have had employees and direct supervisors in the same cohort. And because we spent so much time building that community and building those relationships in the beginning, it is something that's people get a little nervous about in the beginning, but after a few sessions, it's fine. I didn't see any really big issues with it. I don't know if anybody else wanted to comment about that.
I would agree that we've seen the same thing, where in our first year we did intentionally, so let's say that we had one teacher and their principal, and it was an elementary building, so it would have been their direct supervisor. We did only let one of them into the program and then encouraged the other person to apply the next year. And then the following year, we sort of did the opposite and realized that it was not the problem that we maybe overly worried that it could be. So
with that said, I think maybe the question is to Kyle. Would there be any conflict for a board member to join?
No, there's no conflict for you to participate, Maria.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Amy, go ahead.
Thank you. Ladies, thank you so much for your heart and your passion and your energy. I know that sometimes this work can be fantastic and can also be draining. So I see you and I thank you. Okay, now here's the really tough question. Give me like one tangible example that you can see of like a benefit and you're like, that's from seeds. Because I think that could be really powerful for the presentation of why this is so important.
So Robin, I'm going to kind of toss this one out to you because you still work, people thought it was kind of strange, like Robin is doing this and she was a building secretary at the time, and yet not thinking about the impact that she had on kind of connecting with every kid. So Robin, what was a takeaway for you that first year?
What I like about Seeds, well, the takeaway for me was finally this was the first technically personal PD that I was able to participate in, because everything is so teacher focused, when I really think that this district needs to open things up to everyone, because it's not just teachers who have contact with the community, the parents, the students, the staff. I was a secretary at that time. I came into contact with hundreds of people. And so I was able to utilize this training in my day-to-day interaction, but I also was able to, since it's personal growth, I was able to also use it within the growth of my family as well. So, and I was also able to take away key concepts of one of the things I always say is you do not know what you don't know, because I did not know what I did not know. And I still don't. And I'm constantly learning. And also the mirrors and windows, because you either will share in that personal experience with someone, or you will be able to be let into that experience with that someone as they are speaking about their personal testimonies, because a lot of it is driven by personal testimonies. And it just awakened something in me that people felt so comfortable, because you do that building blocks of getting comfortable with the people that you are part of your cohort group. You become family. Like, I still talk to a lot of the people that are in our cohort groups, because no one knows what you go through but someone else who is going through it. And so you go through that process with them. You understand without going too much in depth. You hear their story, they hear your story, and you relate on a different level. And it also allows you to look at perspective differently, which I think that we need definitely in this time that's going on. We need understanding, we need compassion, we need empathy, we need all that. But sometimes you just need for someone to see another perspective that may not be their own. So you will understand why they're reacting the way they are, or acting, or saying, or behaving how they're behaving. So I was just glad that the district at that time offered up training that was not always just focused on teachers, because we need to look at everyone in the district when it comes to trainings or personal growth or development in this district. So that's what I took from it.
I know there's, I won't call anyone out, but there's a couple other people who are somewhere in this meeting who participated in SEED at some point. And I don't know if either of them want to share a takeaway or anything, or Rosa Maria, if you have anything that you want to share.
No, just very quickly, like it opened my eyes to the, for me personally, how much internalized oppression I carried. And it helped me work on that. And it's made me if I were to compare myself pre-SEED, post-SEED, I would say I'm a very different person in many ways.
And I can add into that group. I have participated in a couple of the SEED cohorts in trying to get through this process. The idea of the windows and doors, and I think I'm using the right terminology. I can't say for sure, but that was very intriguing. I had a 1-hour intro to it my first year as an administrator, and really was encouraged, wanted to learn. And as someone said here earlier, we don't know what we don't know. And being able to have that space, I feel I have developed a very strong relationship with Robin through this process, and being able to have some conversations that I need to, and when I have questions, and feeling that I can ask questions and not be taken out of context, in that I'm trying to learn and trying to grow. And that was a difficult position for me. So I can say that although I have not been able to finish the entire cohort process, I would encourage people to take advantage of this and get those relationships. So I look forward to having maybe another opportunity to see this through fruition at a time.
Thank you, Joanne. I didn't want to call you out personally, but I was hoping that you would say something. And for me, I think it's just that continued connection with people, and to be able to see kind of every situation that I'm in, like how would this impact the students and families that I work with, and to be constantly thinking of them through everything that I'm doing, through every person that I experience, has just truly just been a blessing for me. So I just appreciate that. Any other questions?
Any other question, board?
Well, thank you. We appreciate the time.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jen and Robin and Rosa Maria, for sharing your beautiful evening with us tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.